In the annals of military history, certain moments change everything. The invention of gunpowder, the dawn of the nuclear age, the first use of stealth aircraft. Each breakthrough has forced the world to recalibrate the very rules of conflict. And now, in 2025, we are witnessing another one of those moments. A missile, traveling at more than 10 times the speed of sound, launched from deep within Russian territory, curves through the upper atmosphere, evading every known Western detection system. Within minutes, it slams into a military production facility in central Ukraine. No warning, no interception, just devastation. That missile was the Oreshnik. Its name is deceptively simple, Hazel in Russian, but its implications are anything but. With the deployment of the Oreshnik, Russia has crossed a new threshold in military capability, one that until recently was confined to prototype labs and defense white papers. For years, the race for hypersonic weapons has played out in secret testing ranges and high-level defense summits. The United States, China, and Russia all poured billions into developing these so-called next-gen systems, missiles that fly faster than Mach 5, maneuver unpredictably, and strike targets with near-zero warning. But while others tested and prepared, Russia has acted. The Oreshnik isn't a concept. It isn't a PowerPoint presentation shown at a defense expo. It's a weapon in the field, deployed in war and proven in battle. And for the first time since the Cold War, the West is now staring down a strategic threat that could upend its assumptions about deterrence, defense, and battlefield dominance. How did we get here? Why does the Oreshnik matter? And what does this mean for the war in Ukraine and for NATO? In this special report, we'll break it all down. We'll explore what makes Oreshnik so formidable and what the implications are for global security. This is not just a missile story. This is a doctrine shift. This is the age of hypersonic warfare, and Russia has fired the opening shot. In the summer of 2025, a seismic shift occurred in the world of military technology. The Russian Federation officially inducted its first mass-produced hypersonic missile platform, known as the Oreshnik, into active service. Named after the Russian word for hazelnut, a symbol of resilience and armor, the Oreshnik represents the culmination of over a decade of hypersonic weapons research and strategic doctrine shifts within the Russian armed forces. Developed under a classified branch of the Vanguard 2.0 initiative, Oreshnik is more than just another addition to Russia's missile arsenal. It marks a new generation of hypersonic strike capability. Smaller, faster, and smarter than any missile Russia has previously deployed. Russia's Ministry of Defense confirmed that serial production of the missile began in late 2024. By June 2025, the first operational battalion equipped with mobile launchers had been deployed to southern and western Russia, within striking distance of NATO's eastern flank, and, more immediately, the front lines in Ukraine. What makes the Oreshnik unique is its combination of speed, maneuverability, and target adaptability. Unlike earlier systems like the Kinzhal or Zircon, Oreshnik is modular, capable of being launched from land-based TELs, naval platforms, and strategic bombers. Reaching speeds above Mach 7 and employing advanced evasion algorithms, Oreshnik is built to penetrate the most sophisticated Western missile defenses. Its range exceeds 2,000 kilometers, and it's capable of deploying multi-mode warheads, from conventional precision strikes to tactical nuclear payloads. For Russia, this is not just a new weapon. It's a statement of intent, a symbol that, despite sanctions, isolation, and a grinding war, Moscow's military-industrial complex is far from idle. In November 2025, the Oreshnik was used in combat for the first time. In a carefully orchestrated strike, Russian forces launched 2 Oreshnik missiles against a military-industrial facility in Dnipropetrovsk Oblast, Ukraine. The target? A covert Ukrainian facility allegedly used for retrofitting NATO-donated long-range drones and precision-guided munitions. Russian military officials claimed the site housed American sensor fusion systems and was being prepared to support long-range attacks on Russian infrastructure. Satellite imagery released post-strike revealed a highly precise impact, with thermal signatures consistent with hypersonic glide vehicle detonation. Ukrainian sources confirmed significant damage but withheld further comment, citing operational secrecy. This marked a tactical debut for the Oreshnik, one that analysts say was as much a test for global observers as it was a battlefield necessity. Unlike previous hypersonic systems used in Ukraine, such as the Kinzhal, which often had inconsistent accuracy, the Oreshnik's flight profile was unpredictable and executed in under 6 minutes from launch to impact. Pentagon officials, speaking off the record, noted that no Western-supplied air defense systems, including Patriot and Iris-T, had any time to react. This event may well go down as the hypersonic moment in modern warfare, the point where these next-generation weapons moved from prototypes and deterrence to real-world precision tools of war. The deployment and successful use of the Oreshnik system sends ripples far beyond the battlefield in Ukraine. For Kyiv, it signals a grim new reality. Even hardened infrastructure deep behind the front lines is now vulnerable. The war has already tested Ukraine's air defense network to its limit, but with the introduction of the Oreshnik, reaction windows are collapsing. No longer can Ukrainian radar systems rely on the 2 to 3 minute delay from ballistic or cruise missile detection. For NATO and the West, this development is a wake-up call. The myth that Russia was technologically stagnant has been decisively shattered. Western militaries are now accelerating their own hypersonic programs. The U.S. Air Force's ARRW and the Navy's CPS systems are still in limited testing phases. Meanwhile, Russia has deployed multiple Oreshnik units across multiple theaters. Geopolitically, this raises troubling implications. Russia may now feel emboldened to escalate regionally, believing its hypersonic deterrent can outpace NATO's response cycles. If a regional confrontation escalates, be it in the Baltics, the Black Sea, or even the Arctic, the Oreshnik could serve as a first strike or anti-access weapon, crippling command and control centers or disabling airfields before NATO can fully mobilize. Most concerning of all, the psychological edge. By successfully integrating hypersonic weapons into its conventional military doctrine, Russia is reshaping the strategic calculus of conflict, turning what was once the domain of nuclear brinkmanship into fast, precise, and unpredictable real-world action. For Ukraine, the West, and the global order, this is no longer just about one war. It is about how wars will be fought and won in the decades to come. Even deeply embedded infrastructure is now within reach, nullifying the relative safety of rear areas. Ukraine's already overtaxed air defense network faces shrinking response windows, as the Oreshnik can strike with near-zero warning. For NATO and the West, it's a technological wake-up call. The assumption of Russian tech stagnation is debunked. Western hypersonic efforts now lag behind in deployment. In potential flashpoints like the Baltics or Black Sea, the Oreshnik could disable critical NATO assets before a coordinated response. Russia's shift of doctrine is integrating hypersonic capabilities into conventional strategy, blurring lines between conventional and nuclear-era deterrence. The ability to strike quickly and precisely creates strategic uncertainty, forcing adversaries into a reactive posture. Bottom line, the Oreshnik isn't just a battlefield weapon, it's a signal of how modern war is evolving. For Ukraine, it escalates existential risks. For NATO, it demands urgent adaptation. And for the global order, it redefines what it means to maintain strategic stability in the 21st century.